Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video really fast to kind of answer some people's questions that people have been posting on my other videos. Someone had a comment about my swelling throughout my surgery process. I really didn't swell up as much as I thought I would. I think it might be because my surgeon did this procedure where he took blood out before my surgery, and then during my surgery, they spun it down to like its richest element. And then after my surgery, they put that blood back into my surgical sites. And that was supposed to promote like less swelling and not as much bruising. And it seemed to help because compared to other people's videos that I watched, I didn't swell nearly as much as they did, which I was super thankful for. Even though I still felt huge and puffy, I didn't swell near as much as they did, so I was glad for that. Um, what else? Nothing really else is going on. I haven't made an update in a while because I haven't been to the orthodontist in a while. I don't have to go back to my surgeon until after I get my braces taken off, which hopefully will be this winter. I don't go back to the orthodontist until like October 24th or something like that. So hopefully then he'll tell me I only have a couple more months of these hideous braces. I'm so tired of them. I feel like my teeth are straight. I think they look good. I noticed a lot of other people in their videos talk way more in detail about their surgery. I didn't really do that, I feel like, after I went back through and looked through all my other videos. So I'm going to kind of give you guys a whole rundown of my whole, process. Um, Basically, it started out with me just having a lot of jaw pain. And I would always complain to my mom, and she was like, finally, just go to the dentist. So I went to just my regular dentist, and she took a look at my bite and felt my joints, and she realized that this surgery would be helpful. So she recommended me to these other orthodontists and just gave me some to choose from. So I chose one near the town I live in, and I went to him and had a consultation. And basically, he laid out that I would have to have this surgery, and I'd have to have braces. And believe it or not, I was more upset about having to have braces than I was about the surgery. But so he said, okay, we're going to get the ball rolling. First, you need to have an MRI of your jaw so that we can check out the joints and make sure that you don't need to have the disc replacement surgery. So I was pretty scared. I was crying after that appointment because I've never had surgery before. I've never had to go through anything like that. And then all of a sudden I got told that I was going to have my face just like ripped apart and all this, so it's pretty scary. So my next step was to have the MRI. I had the MRI, and that was also very scary because I've never done that before, and I get very claustrophobic. So I was in from like my waist up in this little tunnel, and I had to hold a ball of basically tape wrapped around like paper, I don't know what it was, a ball in my mouth, and I couldn't move for like 30 minutes while they took all these pictures. And then they had to take the ball out, and I had to close my mouth and keep my teeth together, and they had to take pictures for like 30 minutes. So that was over, and I was relieved that that was over because I hated it. And then I had another appointment with my surgeon, or then my orthodontist actually referred me to a surgeon that they like to use because my orthodontist is a TMJ specialist. So he referred me to a surgeon, and I saw him, and I took him the disc from my MRI, and he looked at it and decided that he didn't think it was necessary to do the disc replacement surgery, and that we would just proceed on with doing just the double jaw surgery. So then, before I could have the surgery, I had to have orthodontics to move my teeth to get them just right for the surgery. So I started orthodontia in August of last year. So I started braces, and they slowly started moving my top teeth back and my bottom teeth forward. So essentially my underbite got worse and worse and worse. And then I was ready for surgery in May. So I was super nervous for when my surgery date was going to be because I got done with school at the middle of May, and then I was to start school back at the beginning of June. So I was nervous for when I was going to be having my surgery because I didn't want to miss any class. Luckily, my orthodontist had an open time to do it at the end of May, so he fit me in, and it was the perfect amount of time for me to heal, and I was good to go when school started. Okay, as far as the surgery went, I went in for surgery, or I had my pre-op appointment the day before my surgery, and they pretty much just gave me all my syringes and ice packs, and I I got my medicine from the pharmacy. I took liquid hydrocodone and ibuprofen, and this was all liquid, and Mucinex and a nasal spray. And so then the next day, morning of my surgery, I got up, got ready. I was really nervous. I just wanted to get it over with. And then my surgery was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I couldn't eat all day, couldn't drink all day, except for water, which I don't even think I did that because I was too nervous to. So I went into the surgery center and pretty much just waited and waited. And then finally they brought me in, and they had to tie my hair up into a towel, and then they taped it so that it was all back away from my face and wasn't going to be in the way. And then I went back and laid down on the surgery table, and it was really, really scary because, like I said, I've never had surgery before, and there's all these people around, getting all the equipment ready, and it was just really, really scary. So I lay down on the table, and they started to put the IV in my arm, and I just remember the guy saying, "Okay, now you're gonna feel a little strange for a little bit." And then he started asking me about school and what I went to school for. And then that's the last thing I remember. And then I woke up, and this is the awful part. I woke up spewing blood out of my mouth. And keep in mind, when I woke up from my surgery, my teeth were bandaged shut all the way around. So when I woke up from the surgery, I was so sick from the medicine that I just sat up in my bed, and I was just blowing blood out of my teeth. I know, sorry, that's so disgusting. But blood was just going everywhere. So they just kept telling me to lay back, and I was trying to say that I couldn't breathe, but I couldn't because my teeth were bandaged shut. So they gave me a notepad, and I said, I feel like I can't breathe. And they said, it's just from the breathing tube, your throat's going to feel a little sore for a couple of days. So every time I laid back, I just was swallowing so much blood. So they gave me some medicine for the nausea, and it helped because I went to sleep, and I don't really remember anything after that until I woke up in the suite that I had to stay in overnight. My mom stayed with me, and a nurse stayed overnight with me, and pretty much they just watched me throughout the night and made sure that I was okay. And the next morning I woke up, and first things first, they made me eat a Boost or an Ensure, and I did not want to at all. I didn't feel like eating. I didn't feel good at all. So they gave me some of my pain medicine, and then I looked in the mirror for the first time because the night before I was too out of it to even think about looking in the mirror. I looked in the mirror, and to me, I really didn't feel that much difference because I was so swollen. But I was like, okay, yeah, it looks good. So then pretty much we were ready to leave the surgery center. We left, and then we had a 2.5-hour drive home. I pretty much slept the whole way. And then the days that proceeded after that were pretty much awful. The next 2 or 3 days were really, really rough. I didn't feel like eating, so I was getting really sick from, not having food in my stomach. My mom was trying anything she could to blend stuff up for me to eat, and I just wasn't ready for it. I had to eat out of a syringe. I put it back in the corner of my mouth and just squeezed it in. And then my sleeping schedule was really off because I was taking pain medicine during the day that made me fall asleep. So then at night I was wide awake. So about the 4th or 5th day, I finally started feeling like myself again, and I was, sleeping well, and my swelling was starting to go down from what I could tell. I slept with an ice pack on, constantly. That might be another reason why my swelling wasn't really that bad for very long. Pretty much I had an ice pack on all the time, and if it wasn't ice, then I used a heating rice pad kind of thing. Sleeping was really difficult because I usually sleep on my side, and I had to sleep on my back. So that was awful. I hate that. Also had to sleep with my head tilted up instead of laying pretty much flat. Another thing was I coughed up blood a lot for the first couple days, and one thing that was really helpful for me was using a baby bulb suction for their nose, It's just a little bulb, and I used it to clean out my nose because I couldn't blow my nose for 2 weeks. So that was helpful because I was really congested right after the surgery. So then after that, after the first week, I pretty much felt normal, and pretty much the only thing that was rough after that was not being able to eat. Then finally, after 6 weeks, after 2 weeks, I think I was able to take my bands off to eat. I still couldn't chew, but I could put the food in my mouth. Opening my mouth was really hard because I hadn't opened my mouth in so long that the muscles were really stiff. So I couldn't open my mouth as far as I thought I would be able to. So then after 6 weeks, I was able to chew, which it was super strange. It's still kind of strange because I'm still numb. So eating is still kind of hard. It should go away 6 months to a year, they said, is when the numbness should go away. Yeah, so that's kind of the whole rundown of the whole process of my surgery up until now. Now I'm just waiting to get my braces off because I'm tired of them, like I keep saying. Yeah, so if anyone has any other questions, you can comment and I'll either make another video or I'll reply back to you. So thanks for listening.